Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine. The time to say yes to your dreams and aspirations is here.
My guest tonight is High Chief Paul, the regent of the ancient kingdom of Obiragu in the local government area of Enugu State, Nigeria. He is a communications professional with over 30 years experience. He's worked with such organizations as New Breed, that is talking about the publishers of New Breed and the President magazine, Ogilvy, Benson and Matter Advertising Limited, Grant Advertising Limited, Sheraton Lagos Hotel and Towers, the Sun Publishing Limited, that is talking about the publishers of the Sun newspapers, and Emotion Advertising Limited. He retired recently and currently concentrates fully on his original passion, which is writing and teaching. He is motivated by his love for the people and for African culture and tradition. He also facilitates management trainings for major training institutions in Nigeria. He also engages in this and that. But above all, he is my worthy brother. Hi, Chief Paul Onyia, you're welcome to this Instagram live session.
Thank you, my worthy brother. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, sir. Paul Onyia just came out with a new novel. I would like us to look at it. This is what it looks like. One novel that I'm recommending that everybody should ensure they get a copy of. All right, I have mine and he has his. So what it means is that together we are going to be looking at Nightfall in the Twilight. Tonight we are going to be looking at it as well as the critical issue he has taken or he has treated in the book. Okobo, once again, you're welcome to this Instagram live session.
Thank you, my worthy brother. Thank you so much.
Yes. Now, first, congratulations on your debut book. That's talking about Nightfall in the Twilight. So how did you arrive? Yes. How did you arrive at the title?
Okay. It wasn't easy actually choosing the title. I had a number of ideas, and I had to do a kind of survey. But Nightfall in the Twilight is like Ndi Igbo na-asị you know, because that's what the story is all about. Where there seems to be prospects and future, and all of a sudden everything crashed. So that's where it came from. But we had other ideas. Man, at the end of the day, majority of the people that I asked to choose out of about 4 different topics we had, majority went for Nightfall in the Twilight. So that's how.
Wow. Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Slim Boss Mikel, thanks so much. Alaika Dairo, thanks so much for your birthday wishes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all of you. Now, in a nutshell, Okobo, what is the book Nightfall in the Twilight? What is the book all about? This book that I'm holding, this beautiful and gripping and engaging book that I'm holding, what is it all about?
Nightfall in the Twilight is a novel, it's fiction. So let's get it from it's fiction, pure fiction. But you know that every fiction derives from real life, experiences of some people, stories you've had in the past, and then you embed it with your own creative ideas. It's about, the whole idea was to portray the psychological trauma people who are tagged as Osu go through. I
All
happen
right.
to know one or two. I happen to know some Osus, because even in my community, where today I'm the regent, we do have them. And growing
Okay.
up, some of them were my friends, though there were limits to your relationship with them, things you could do with them. But we went to school with some of them, and we became friends with some of them. And growing up till today, I saw some of them die the day they realized they were Osu.
Wow.
And they are there with you. They are humans. They are still doing everything. Some of them are very successful, but deep in them, they are dead. You can't imagine what it means that you grow up to realize that you're not human, you're subhuman. And then you live with that all your life. It is a terrible, terrible torture mentally. And that's what I
Wow.
tried to portray.
All right. Now, I would like to find out from you, why did you choose a topic as controversial as the Osu Caste system in Igbo land?
Yes, it is very controversial till today. Some people will tell you that there were edicts or law that banned Osu. You can't ban this thing by an edict. That's the truth of the matter. You can't ban it because this is something that is deeply, deeply embedded in the tradition and culture and traditional religion of people. So it's not that easy. Controversial as it is, somebody has to confront it someday, and I think it is time we actually confront it. It is time we solve this problem. It is time we talk about it, because these people are human beings like all of us. They have feelings, and it's not fair on them. Yes, there are reasons why it is there, but today I do not think those reasons are relevant anymore. So we need to talk about it. We need to find solutions to it. We need to free these people from this torture, from this situation. And that's why I decided to choose that topic.
All right. I need you to, I'm going to take you back a little. What
Thank you.
exactly is the genesis of the Osu Caste system in Igbo land? Let's even trace the origin and how it started and how it come to be.
Of all my research, it is difficult to say this is precisely when it started, this century or that century, but it's as old as anybody can say. How do we get to have Osus? The Igbo traditional society, and the truth of the matter is that the caste system, whether you call it Osu, whether you call it Tohu, as we do in Igbo land, is all over Africa. Some other tribes in Africa. So let nobody think it is purely an Igbo thing. I don't know if it exists in some other tribe in Nigeria, but it exists in some other tribes all over Africa. And let's talk about the Igbo traditional society, where I know a little bit of. Then the society was fairly well organized. You have shrines and deities. There is Chukwu, which is the big god. But the Chukwu nobody sees, it is the Allah. And the deities that govern the Allah, that people see. And that's what they defer to. And that's why it seems like people worship the deities, because that's what they see. But still, the traditional Igbo man recognizes that there is Chukwu, which is the god. Okay? Now, in those days, there are laws governing society, do's and don'ts. When people break those rules, some of them are excommunicated from the society. Some of them are condemned to death or one form of punishment or the other. And to escape this punishment, this death, they will run to the deity for protection. Because the deities were dreaded. Anything that has to do with the deity is dreaded. And is more or less humans will not want to associate with it. Some of them were also sent to the deity for sacrifice to appease the land, and they now belong to the deity. Then it depends on when the deity says, okay, it is time to sacrifice them. Otherwise, they stay there under the deity. They have families, they interact, they marry themselves, they have families, and the children continue to stay there. Okay? So there are those who are kind of banished. They will run to one deity or the other. There are those who are made to face one punishment or the other. To escape those punishments, they will run to the deity. There are also those who are dedicated. So this person has committed one atrocity. We have to offer him to the deity as a sacrifice to appease the land. That's one category. There are also those who run to the deity of their own volition, trying to escape maybe family squabble, mostly widows. Their husband died, the brothers of the husband, the family they feel threatened, they want to take their land, they want to, wipe them out so they can inherit the man's properties and so on and so forth. The man or the woman under such a circumstance can also take the family and go to the deity and say, I now belong to you, please protect me. And once he or she does that, nobody dares to even scratch a drop of blood from them. But the thing is that once you belong to the deity, you become an Osu. You are no longer a full-fledged son of the soil. Because that's the difference. It's either you're a full-fledged son of the sun with all the rights of the society. If you become an Osu, you lose all those rights. Wow. All right. So that's the origin. That's how it started. So some of the people we refer to Osu today are people whose great-great-great-grandfather ran to the deity or was, for one reason or the other, found himself or herself in the deity, belonging to the deity. And today, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 generations later, the descendants are still suffering. And I think it is fair.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, and coupled with the fact that earlier on you said something about the need for the society to begin to do something about ending this scourge, what are the best ways of eradicating this caste system? Not only from Igbo land, but from the entire human race. What are the best ways of going about it?
Like I said earlier, it is difficult to say government will proclamate a law to say Osu is banished or banned. It's not as simple as that, because like I said, a lot of tradition and religion has to do with it. The deities are involved. Yeah, today we are all Christians, but the truth remains that those deities, people will tell you, they were real.
Okay.
They were real. And they had powers they could do and undo in those good old days. So till today, people still fear those deities. That is the major problem. Even those who say they are Christians, they still fear those deities. They dare not go close to those deities or to do anything that will offend the deity. So you see people who are Christians, what they do is they just stay away. And that's again part of the problem. Who wants to be the first to talk about it? What do? You can't, even I discussed with some traditional rulers among my peers, and it is this same fear. But I believe that every community has to find its own solution. In every community where it exists, they have to find their own solution to it. The people have to come together in all sincerity. The voice of the people is the voice of God. If the people come together and proclaim in Nike here, yes, I don't want to mention his name.
Yes.
He will tell you that as a traditional ruler of a community, that the day you are crowned as the Igbo of your community, that day, the entire people of that community, with the goals of that community, has kind of handed everything over to you and say, speak for us, lead us. Whatever you decide for us, your word is final. And he will tell you, he did it in his community. There's a deity, a shrine in his community. He went there, called his people, they came together. He didn't invite any pastor or any priest. And he proclaimed that by the authority given to him as the Igwe on the day he was ordained, that he was banishing this deity. And that day, that deity left. In this Enugu state. A lot of Igbos don't know the authority they have. If they can, with all sincerity of purpose, with courage, without fear, the Igwes can call their people together with one voice. They can make proclamations among themselves and denounce this Osu thing, and it will be effective. That's my thinking. It's has to be a community by community thing. But the will has to be there.
All right. Henry Okazo, thanks so much for joining us. The real Onyia, thanks so much for joining us. Now, as the regent of your own town, that's talking about Obinagu, the local government area of Enugu State, what are you doing to put this to an end, or to bring this to an end in your own community? Let's now bring the matter closer home.
Yeah, this novel is part of the idea, because when we came up with this novel, we did a presentation in my palace in the village. We used the opportunity to talk about it, and so the sensitization is going on. It's a gradual thing. It's not an overnight thing. Don't think you just call people today and tell them we need to stop this. People need to think through it. People need to get used to the idea that this has to be done. So it's a gradual thing, but the courage, the bold step of writing about it and talking about it, and is part of the process. We have just started the process, and we'll keep talking about it until we gather more support. One critical thing also, my worthy brother Arinze, is those Osus themselves, they have a role to play here. Because what is happening is, I see some of them stand back and waiting for people to come and solve the problem for them.
Okay.
It has to be, yeah.
What would you rather that they do to quicken the steps, as regard sorting out the whole issue?
They have to work together with the community, but like I said, the community too has to be ready to work together with them. First and foremost, if the community agrees, the Osus have to first and foremost denounce their relationship with whatever deity they are under. Because their forefathers some of them willingly went to the deity, although some of them were forced to go there and they stayed there. So they have to denounce that they do no longer belong to this deity. And then the community too has to proclaim that going from today onwards, we do not acknowledge this anymore. But like I said, sorry, go on.
Yes. Now, I want to bring the matter closer home. Yes. As a member of my village's traditional ruling council, as a cabinet member, we have an issue that was brought to our attention, but it happened in a nearby village. The traditional ruler came out one day and said that by the powers conferred on him, he was abolishing Osu and Osu Caste systems. That nothing like that will exist again. Okay, the villager said okay. After appreciating, they now said okay, that one of the so-called Osus should come and marry the Igwe's daughter, for them to know that the Igwe was serious about what he was doing. And Igwe was no longer willing to go ahead. If you have a scenario like this in your own palace, what will be your...
That's why I told you that it's not a one-man thing.
Yes.
It's not when I gave the example of my friend Igwe that sent a deity packing, he didn't just do it alone. It took him years to get the buy-in of the entire community to come and stand behind him. So any Igwe that wants, and every Igwe has the authority to do that, but you have to do your homework properly. And make sure that your people have 101% bought into it before you even make a proclamation. Because if you just go there and say because you're Igwe, you do it, you're on your own. That's the simple truth of the matter. But when the people agrees and says, yes, do it on our behalf, we stand by you, then it's effective.
All right. Now, in your own community, what is your relationship with the Osus and Ohus? How do you relate with them? Do you have, in your place, I don't know, have you started conferring chieftaincy titles on them? Where I come from, they are hardly allowed to come close. So how have you been managing it in your own community?
You know, that is the critical issue. Even in my community today, they still don't take chieftaincy titles. And I have friends among them who are overdue, overqualified financially and in every sense of it to have chieftaincy title. But they cannot, and you know, it's quite disheartening. And that's all part of the reason I am making the effort I'm making to sensitize not only my immediate community, but the entire Igbo land and the entire Africa and the entire world that this is something that needs to be done. We need to come together as a people and agree collectively and say, you know, this has to stop. I mean, if an Osu marries a free person, there's no repercussion. They are not going to die. They will live a normal life. They will have children. So it's not as if there's anything anybody is running away from. It's just that stigma, name. There's no physical or spiritual effect on anything. That I know very well.
All right.